All right, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Those who ignore warning, it is the same to them whether thou hast warned them or thou warned them not. They do not believe. God has sealed their hearts, and over their hearing and over their sight is a covering, and they have a great punishment. All right, peace. That was ayah 6 and 7 of the second surah of the Quran. In this series, we're taking a look at the three types of people in existence according to Allah. In the last video, we saw the first type of people, those favored by Allah. If you're watching this, I'm sure that's the group you wanted to be a part in. It's a group I want to be a part of. Those who are favored by Allah, they're the ones that get Allah's guidance. They're fearful. They believe in the unseen. They do the salah. They spend out of what Allah has provided them. They believe in what was sent down, both the current revelation and the previous revelations, and they're sure of life after death. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the next type of people. This group is referred to in the first surah as those who incur wrath. This is one of the groups that we ask to avoid or to not be guided like. They are the people who ignore warning, or as it's often translated, those who disbelieve. And Allah doesn't spend that much time on them. And he tells us why. He says, those who ignore warning, it is the same to them, whether thou hast warned them or thou hast warned them not. They don't believe. This group of people, they don't believe no matter what. Like, you can warn them, you can not warn them, you can tell them, you can not tell them, they're not going to get it anyway. And I mean, this makes sense why the guidance isn't for them, because they wouldn't follow it even if they had it. But the question is, warn them of what? I mean, we want to be those favored by Allah. So naturally, we want to tell the world and convince them to get on the Creator's good side. But it looks like Allah is saying that some people just aren't going to get it, and don't waste too much time. Don't waste too much time trying to convince them. But why? Why can't they get it? I mean, even if you put it in front of their face, Allah says they're not going to get it. Well, Allah gives us the answer in the next ayah. He says, God has sealed their hearts, and over their hearing and over their sight is a covering, and they have a great punishment. So Allah gives us a lot of answers in this ayah. He also moves us forward with more questions. The reason why this group of people isn't worth wasting your time preaching to or trying to convince is Allah says He sealed their hearts. He put a covering over their hearing and their sight. But our first question is, what does that mean? If their hearing and their sights are covered, obviously they can't hear the guidance and they can't see it if they can't see the way if they were shown. That's obvious. Okay. But what does it mean that He sealed their hearts? Also, when we were looking at those that Allah favors, we saw that one of their characteristics is they're fearful. But that led to the question of fearful of what? And in this group, now we're talking about those who ignore warning, and now we're looking at those who ignore warning, but they're ignoring the warning of what? It sounds like there's something harmful around, something that we need to be aware of. One group fears it, they act accordingly, and they try to warn other people. And then you have the other group who ignore the warning outright. They don't care about the dangerous event. It doesn't matter to them. They ignore it completely. But the question is still, what is the dangerous event? Allah gives us the answer in this ayah as well. It's the punishment. The dangerous event is the punishment. The successful are taking precautions against the punishment because they're fearful of it. And these people are doomed. They're going to get the punishment because they're not even thinking about it. And there's still one more group to cover. Those that are astray. Inshallah, we'll get into that in the next video. If this is making sense, go read the Quran. It's a straight path. Allah to you. He didn't send you to me to tell you what he says. Peace.